Welcome. My name's Philip, and I'm happy to be here with you tonight with the Winnipeg Winter Club. And then we'll go through a yin yang class. And to begin, we'll start by laying down on our backs today. So once you're laying down, you can rest with your knees bent, or you can rest with your legs in a diamond shape. Even out long, any way is fine, really. We'll just take a moment here to ground ourselves. And what a nice place to start with on the ground. So if your feet are on the mat or the outsides of your feet, wherever they are, just notice how they're touching. Notice your sacrum, your shoulder blades, and the middle back of your head. See if you can just kind of distribute your weight throughout your body there. Equally, not pressing too much weight in your head, your shoulders, your hips or feet. Try and distribute it nicely. If your legs are in a diamond shape, and this is a lot of sensation for you, you can place some blocks underneath your thighs or knees. You can rest your arms by your sides or wherever is comfortable. Just leave a little bit of room for the armpits to breathe. And give your eyes a close. If you cannot close your eyes, keep them about halfway open. And just start to watch your breath moving in your nose. As you watch your breath moving in and out through the nose, really relax into your face. Just imagine the skin of your face is just really softening. And same with your tongue, your eyes, opening up the ears, and just listening to the sound of your breath. Letting it sound like the ocean or the wind. Letting there be no strain in your breath. But if you start to feel a little bit more sensation in your hips, you can breathe a little bit deeper. Breathing fully in through the nose, the back of the throat, into the lungs. Watching your lungs expand. As you exhale, watching the breath move from your lungs, throat, out through the nose. See if you can really balance your breath. Matching the length, strength, and sounds. Really letting go of your day here. Letting go of your plans for tonight. And just being with yourself here. Clearing your mind of any thought with your breath. By observing your body. Just watching 5 more nice breaths here, okay? You might start to feel as if the hips get a little bit heavier. You might want to drop a little bit lower towards the ground, just let gravity take over. Few more nice breaths, breathing in for about 3 to 5 seconds. Breathing out for 3 to 5. One more. The end of your exhale, let your lower belly tone, your back, your glutes, and legs. Place your hands behind your thighs or to the sides, and just close your legs together with the help of your hands. Breathe out. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. And just observing the sensations, trying not to judge them, just noticing. Okay. When you're ready, keeping the legs about hip width apart, just give your legs a little windshield wipe. Just shaking out the back of it. Shaking up the legs, the hips. Hey, what happened? I got signed up, but we're good. I'm back. Let's see. Okay, it's still recording. Good. When you're ready, we're going to do the opposite, okay? So you want to drop the insides of your knees in together, like this. And you're going to walk your feet out to the sides. I'll just turn a bit so you can see. So like your lower legs will be in like a triangle, okay? And from here, you can have your arms in like a field goal post shape or in any position. Let's just hang out in this position here. The legs like internally rotating a bit, just for 5 breaths as a counter pose. And if you can, you start to feel like, yeah, open up a little bit in the hips and you're a little bit more mobile, you can always walk your feet closer to the outsides of your mat. Just taking a few more nice breaths here. Make sure there's no pain in your knees. If there is, back off, okay? A few more nice breaths. Okay, very good. Just let your knees open up over your ankles. And then take a breath in again. Take a nice deep breath out. Give your legs a shake one more time from side to side, just like we did before. And then hug your knees in towards you. If your neck feels okay, you can lift your head up, your shoulders, and just rock around a bit. And doing this is actually a pretty deep forward bend. Forward bends can help to open up your back a bit and even strengthen the front of your body. Okay, next, we're just going to place the feet back on the mat. Reach your right arm above your head. Roll to your right. Use your arm as a pillow. From here, slowly press up onto your hands and knees in a quadruped position. Just wake up the spine slowly here with cat-cow, okay? As you inhale, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, round through your whole spine. Try and show your spine through your shirt. We'll do that 5 more times, okay? Lifting and lengthening as you breathe in. And holding, shortening as you breathe out. Rounding. A few more. Still keeping a nice rhythm in your breath. Do one more full breath cycle. One nice rounding of the back. And one nice extension. Okay. Let's tuck the toes, I should say. See if you can even get maybe your pinky toes under there. Maybe it's not long enough, and that's okay. Come over here, spread your hands out. Make sure there's like little V's in between them. You can remember throughout the practice for like Valentine's Day, that's coming up, right? So keep those V's in your hands, and the second finger at about pointing towards 12 o'clock. From the heels, every single knuckle and fingertip. Keep your arms nice and long. And just lift your hips off the ground. Let's come into our first downward facing dog. If downward facing dog is too much for you, keep going through cat-cow, okay? If you're in downward facing, just start to pedal your heels up and down. Keeping the feet about hip width apart. Make sure that your feet are pointing straight. And my anatomy teacher says the feet are straight when the second metatarsals are in line with kneecaps. When the second metatarsals are straight forwards. Okay, take a few more nice breaths here, stretching out the back of the body. On your next inhale, look in between your hands. And just come back down onto your knees. For today, we're going to come into child's pose, okay? You're going to have your knees about mat width apart. Start to bring your hips back towards your heels. Walk your hands forwards. You might rest your forehead down on the mat. If it doesn't go, you can rest a pillow underneath your forehead or pillow even underneath your hips and your heels if it can't go down. If this is a problem for your knees, please just lie right on your stomach with your forehead on your hands, okay? We're gonna hang out here today for about 3 minutes. Sounds like a long time, but in like a 24-hour day, 3 minutes isn't too long about it like that. Just gonna set a timer here so we don't go for too long. So you might feel a nice big stretch in the feet, the ankles. It's gonna be even like a nice stress for those bones. Just applying some pressure to them can help build some strength in them. But make sure there's no sharp pains, okay? If there is, you come out. This can feel like a nice stretch for your legs, your back, your hips, your shoulders. The same as always, keeping your eyes close to yourself. I've always been kind of taught to look towards the nose there's if you're unsure of where to look. It's nice to look there because you can see your breath moving. You start to use your proprioception, noticing where like your body is in space. And the more that you kind of practice this, the easier it is to kind of move around and know where you are in space. And keep letting the back, the spine lengthen as you breathe in and out. Keep the front the same. Just keep letting go here. See if you can be nice and still, nice and quiet. We're almost there. Less than a minute to go, okay? Notice where you're holding tension, just scanning the body. Maybe it's in your face, your shoulders. See if you can just even use your imagination just to relax into it. Few more nice breaths. Very nice. On your next inhale, slowly, slowly, place your hands down underneath your shoulders. Lift your head. Slowly take a deep breath in, deep breath out. If you have some stuff beside you, just move it off to the side. Walk forwards so that you're in a quadruped position again. Let's just shake it out with some cat cows. And extend through the spine as you inhale and flexing the bottom of your exhale. Do that 3 or 4 times. As you do this, see if you can keep a sense of ground in your hands and feet. Like push your hands and feet apart a bit so you can feel the connection to your middle. Okay, come into a neutral position. From here, we're going to bring the knees together. Okay, sides of the big toes, the same as before. This time, you're just going to bring your hips back again for 5 breaths in the child's pose with your legs together. Okay. If your stomach is really full, maybe you haven't digested all of your dinner yet, you can walk your hips forwards over your knees and then rest like your hairline on the ground instead. Okay. Just for 5 nice breaths. If you're in this like melting heart position with your hips over your knees, your shoulders feel a lot of tension, take your arms really wide. I find it helps. And push your hands down and away from you. Okay, 3 more nice grounding breaths. Very good. And you're ready. Just crawl forwards right onto your stomach and rest your forehead on your hands. And take a few breaths here, just resting on your stomach. And when we're back bending, which is what we're going to be doing right away, my teacher says that it helps to visualize the breath moving up the front of your body. So from pretty much from like your pubic bone up towards your nose. And then you watch your exhale move down the back of your body from like the back of your throat towards your low back. So just start to like visualize that. It's physically impossible to breathe like that, but you can visualize it. So if it feels okay on your back, you can press up onto your forearms for the Sphinx pose. Just like this, a nice mild back bend. But I find that it really helps. We're gonna hang out here for about 3 minutes, okay? This one, I find this one can, it seems like it takes a while for the timer to end for me in this one. I don't know about you, some people it probably doesn't feel like much. But from here, you wanna feel a nice stretch from your lower belly up towards like your throat. And then same with the back of your body. You do not want to feel a pinch right where you're like bending from. Instead, try to make space and length in your spine, okay? And the arms will be about shoulder width apart. Same with the legs. If your back is really healthy and mobile, your legs can be close together. Or like I said before, wider. And set your eyes, set your gaze as if we were meditating. Meditate on your breath, on your posture. And notice the thoughts come up. If you start to think of other things than what we're doing and how you're doing it, just notice, take a few deeper breaths, return to watching yourself. If you feel nothing here, what you can do is always bend your knees. You can even try one at a time. You might feel a little bit more of a stretch in your back, maybe not. Let's see if you can hang here. If it's too much, bring the legs back down, okay? We've got a little bit less than a minute to go. If you still feel nothing, you can press your hands down, spreading them like we did when we were in downward facing dog with those V's in the fingers. Ground your hands and lift your elbows up. If this one's too much, you can go all the way back down again too. Otherwise, imagine again breathing up the front of your body, breathing down towards your low back. Make sure it doesn't feel like too much or too little. Almost there. One more breath. All the way in. Deep breath all the way out. Awesome. Make your way back down onto your mat. Your back might feel a lot tighter than when it did when we came in, but hopefully it'll feel better when we're done. Take a few more breaths up the front of your body and down towards your back, low back. One more nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. Okay. Just bend your knees, kick your feet in the air, and then windshield wipe your legs like this, carefully. Bring them from side to side gently. Okay. Tuck your toes under, feet about hip width apart. Place your hands down by your lower ribs, underneath your elbows. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And press back up into an all fours position. Let's go into our second downward facing dog, okay? Lift your hips up, lift your knees off the ground, give your heels a nice pedal. Take about 5 nice breaths here. As you push your hips away from your hands, lengthen the crown of your head down towards the ground. As you root your feet towards the ground gently, lift your hips away from your feet. Few more nice equal part breaths. Okay. Come down back onto your knees. From here, we're going to go into a dragon pose, okay? Nice and simple. Lunge. You're going to step your right foot in between your hands like this. If this is not good for your left knee, you can try folding your mat in two or putting a block underneath it. If it's hard for you to get your hands on the ground, you can do the same, put some blocks under them, or even just walk your right hand in. Might feel a bit easier. From here, you can just stay in this position with your left knee underneath your hip, your right leg in a 90-degree angle, with a rounded back or a neutral spine. Anyway, just feeling a nice stretch through the right hip, maybe the front of the left. If you feel nothing there and you want to feel more, walk your left leg back a little bit. Just start to push your feet and legs apart in equal directions. If you want to try with a little bit of movement, I find this helps. As you inhale, you can take like an extension sort of position in the spine, like you're doing cat cow. You push your legs apart, like you lift the top of your head towards your tail, tail towards the head. And as you exhale, you can round your back a bit as you push your feet and legs apart. You might start to feel the pose builds a bit of juice. When you feel that bit of juice, you can relax into it. If it's uncomfortable for you to have your hands on the ground, you can place them on your right leg. Few more in this position, okay? But maybe you'll want to stay. I'll show you a few more options. Few moments. Just taking two more nice breaths here. Okay. If you do not have your hands to the inside of your right foot already, you do it. Walk your hands in. You can walk your right foot out a bit so your legs are about hip width. And here you can have your right knee right over your foot, grounding, or you can drop onto the outer edge of your right foot, just opening that right thigh towards the ceiling a bit. It doesn't have to be much, okay? Stay like this. Or if you feel comfortable, you can try walking your hands forwards. Maybe. Take your time if you need, okay? And eventually, you might be able to walk one elbow down or two. Just make sure again, there's no pain in this right knee. And to do that, you can line up your second toe with the front of your right knee. Make sure your right kneecap is pointing straight towards your second metatarsal. Okay, one more deep breath in and out. Awesome. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Press your right foot down for one breath in, one breath out. Let's take a twist, okay? Reach your right arm up. If it's too much, just place your hand on your leg or your waist. Take 5 breaths here. 4, 3. If you'd like to try, you can even turn your hand, the back of your hand forwards, and take the back of your hand towards your right hip. Turn your sternum to the right. 2, and 1. Good. Bring your right hand back down. Make your way back into a child's pose or downward facing dog. Yogi's choice. Slowly, slowly make your way back there. Take a nice full breath in. Even a nice deep breath out through the mouth if you'd like. Let it go. You more like that. Breathing in and out. Awesome. On your next inhale, come back up onto your hands and knees. Let's switch sides, okay? Step your left foot in between your hands. And maybe your right knee is sore, so you can do the same. Place something under it, or fold your mat up. Use some blocks underneath your hands. Your choice. The legs, they can be hip width apart too. Even wider if you need, just not too much wider. And find a nice, comfortable position where you feel something. If you don't, remember, push your feet and legs apart. You should feel a nice stretch in the front of the right hip flexor, even the side of the left. And then you can go through those actions of cat-cow, extending, and then flexing a bit. As you inhale, you lift, you reach your tail back and your head. As you exhale, you drop your head. You push your hips towards the front of the mat. And once you feel a nice stretch, you hang out. And you just stay with whatever comes up. See if you can breathe through it. And use your intelligence, your like discriminative, your awareness to like move further or away from what you're doing. If it's too much or too little. Okay, so stay like this. So we're gonna move on. Walk your left foot out. Bring your left knee to the side. Stay like this, or walk your hands forwards. For a low dragon. And eventually you might be able to go down onto one elbow or two. Almost there. Notice maybe you start to build tension in your shoulders because you feel it a lot in your hips. If you can make space around your neck, release a bit of tension in the shoulders. But of course, you'll need some to hold yourself up. A few more nice breaths. Okay. On your exhale, get stronger, root down and press it back onto your hands. Take a breath in and out. Stay like this for 5 or twist to the left. Left hand on the leg or left arm up. Or you want to try, take the back of your left hand towards the front of your right hip. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring your left hand back down. Make your way back into a child's pose or downward facing dog. Your choice. Hang for 5 more breaths. Just a few more after this. And just letting go. Breathing and observing. Okay, just start to breathe a little bit deeper, a little bit stronger. Walk your hands forwards, arms about shoulder width apart. Tuck your toes under. Let's go into downward facing dog again, okay? Few more. Lift your hips up, pedal your heels up and down. If your arms feel awake enough and strong enough today to hold yourself up, bring your feet together, okay? And lift your right leg up into the air. Keep your arms long. Try and use your hands, your arms all the same. And your left leg keeps long with the right. Stay like this or just start to turn your right hip open. If you want to try, bend your right knee. Kick your right heel towards your bum. Good. Now, bring your right foot back down. Look forwards as best as you can. Step your right foot in between your hands. Drop your left foot down to a 45-degree angle. We're going to do a few yang postures, okay? Warrior one. Inhale, reach your arms up. Deep breath in. 5. You can look forwards, down, or even up. Hands can be together. If it's too much strain on your shoulders, arms apart. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just open up to warrior 2 for a few breaths. 5 breaths again, okay? Arms open. You can step your left leg back a few. Bend into your right knee. Push your feet and legs apart. You can look to your left hand and the right. To midline for 5. Breathing up and down the midline. 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you windmill your hands to the ground? Come down onto your left knee. And just step your right leg back. Child's pose or downward facing. Your choice. Take a nice deep breath in. Deep breath out. If you're in child's pose, meet us in downward facing dog. Lift your hips up. Stay like this or bring your feet together at the back of your mat. Stay or lift your left leg up. Keep your leg long, turn your hip open to the left a bit. Stay like this or bend your left knee. Take a few breaths. Bring your left foot down. Bend your knees. Lift your chest forwards, middle of it, and step your left foot. Bend your knee. Right foot down. Stand up. Reach up for 5. 4. Lengthen up through the midline. 3. Almost there. 2. 1. Warrior 2 for 5. Open your arms open. And bend your left knee. Good look at your left hand for about 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Can you windmill your hands down again? Come up onto your right toes. Step back. Just go back into downward facing or child's pose for a breath in. Deep breath out. When you're ready, I want you to get ready for Shavasana, okay? And lay down on your back. Nice work, everyone, tonight. Time goes by so quickly when you're having fun. So lay down for even 2 minutes if you can, or you can even sit up in a meditation, your choice. Just give your eyes a close for a moment. Watching your breath enter and exit. Letting go of any more unneeded tension. And just resting here in the space, openness you've created in your bodies and minds. Let's hang out just for a few more moments. If you need more rest, feel free to lay down for as long as you need. If you have to get going, just start to deepen your breath. Wake up your hands with tiny movements, your toes. If you're laying down, stretch your arms back, bend your knees. Roll to your right side and slowly make your way up to sit. Good. And to end practice, let's bring the palms together. Thank you so much for your practice. I hope you feel nice and happy, healthy, and peaceful. Hope to see you again next week. Namaste.